Now I've got Alien on Stage written down. I know this is coming. This has to be one of the more strange prospects that you're tantalizing us with.
It's a documentary film that you may know some of the story of already. It is available on Amazon Video and Apple TV Plus, and it's been being soft launched since October, but this is the week that we've got to it. So here's the story. A few years ago, there's an amateur dramatic group called Paranoid Dramatics, led by bus drivers from Dorset, who decided that they would put on a traditional pantomime every year. And they decided that rather than doing Robin Hood or, something like that, which they'd done before, they would do something different. And the something different they were going to do was they were going to do a stage production of Alien, which, as everyone will say, is hardly a Christmas pantomime at the best of times.
No, not really.
But so really ambitious project. But when they did it, there was apparently no appetite for it. They did it at the Allendale Centre in Wimborne. And apparently on the big night, it was like 20 people. They'd done the whole of Alien on stage, and about 20 people were there, and it was a damn script. However, Lucy Harvey and Daniel Cummins saw it, and they apparently were wowed by it. And they decided to set up a crowdfund page to take the show and put it on for one night only, one performance only in the West End. And in return, what's happened is that the production agreed that there's going to be a documentary about it. So the documentary is about how this stage show, this completely mad, let's do a version of Alien on stage, with cardboard and papier-mâché, then managed to get reborn to go to the West End, and how they they had to, up the ante for it. The opening is really smart. There are all these shots of Dorset buses in bus stations shot to look like shots of the Nostromo. So pneumatic, ramps and doors opening and bits of engine that all actually look, oh yeah, that's fine. That's because that reminds me of the opening shots of Alien. And then we meet the director, who is struggling to keep the project on course. The rehearsals are constantly foreshortened by the fact that they get to the theatre and the theatre isn't open. The cast, many of the drivers, conductors, we meet them, and when we first see them, they don't appear to know their lines. They're still working off book. The whole thing looks like it's a catastrophe. And then we meet the special effects guy, the guy who was in charge of essentially remaking H.R. Giger's incredible creations out of styrofoam and string. Here's a clip.
This is firmly fitted in a bag on the chest, on the stomach area. 2 wires are strapped to either side. Fit these onto wires that are attached to fishing rods. It's supposed to jump out, sit on the chest, and then be pulled off to one side. Still in the upright position, but all more luck than judgment some of the time.
Oh, God!
It's like Wallace and Gromit.
I know. And actually, in terms of the Heath Robinson-like nature of how they make the chest burster come out of the chest and then do the thing about zipping off while still standing upright is very, very Wallace and Gromit. So we see the build up to the big day. There are little glimpses of the rehearsals which aren't promising, and glimpses of the special effects which are very, very Blue Peter. And then they get to the West End. And we see the highlights. It's sold out. It's completely sold out. It's just off Leicester Square, so proper West End. And we see how the show goes. Here's the thing. I reviewed a film a while ago called A Bunch of Amateurs, which was about Britain's oldest filmmaking club in Bradford, and they were in danger of being shut down, and then they got COVID funding during lockdown, and which kind of saved the day. And the documentary follows them fulfilling their filmmaking dreams. And the key thing about that documentary is it's funny and poignant because it's not laughing at the people. It is laughing with them. And it is a celebration of artistic aspirations, no matter how kind of apparently madcap they are. This is the same. When the show is playing in the theatre, yes, the audience are laughing during the horror scenes, during the chest burster and the face hugger, but they're laughing with the players. They're not laughing at them. And that laughter is kind of like a celebration of what a mad thing it is to attempt to reproduce. I mean, Alien is one of the most visually extraordinary films of all time. We had never seen anything like it. And here with bits of foam and bits of metal and bits of string and they have inventively attempted to reproduce it on screen, including the alien himself. I mean, the way in which they do Ash losing Ash's head is one of the, you just want to stand up and applaud. And the thing that I really, really liked was that the documentary is a joyous experience. And it's because it's a sort of ode to the indefatigability of the artistic inspiration, which is, let's just do this. Let's just do this and see what happens. And then the very fact that when they just did it and at first they didn't get an audience. I mean, although honestly, if I heard that the local bus company was doing an onstage performance of Alien, I would go. But they said, oh, only 20 people. Then by the time it gets to the West End, it's like it found its audience. It found its tribe. And I think that if there's a message to be taken from the film, it's if someone tells you you can't do something, pay no attention. You know, can a bunch of people working on the Dorset buses do Alien on stage? Well, you know what? They can have a damn good go at it. And I think the doc really captures that sort of just stand up and cheer sense of well done. Well done. You know, you are working with string and glue and spray paint, but you've done Alien on stage, and you know, bravo. Anyway, I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was really, really life affirming.